Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn, and this is the September reading for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. Libras, let's get into this. So right now, it looks like your primary focus is on two things: your money and your honey. You are very focused on your finances and just living your daily life, going to work and doing all the things that you need to do. But there is also a little bit of a romantic side coming out of you during the month of September. It's like no romance without finance. I don't know why that song just came into my head. No romance without finance. So you are concerned about those two aspects of your life, and you are hopeful about them. You're looking forward to that, the romantic aspect of your life. And it could mean that you're trying to tie those two elements together to become financially secure for a relationship that you're already in, or you're just looking to start like a new relationship and you're having interest and you're very hopeful about the future of that. Looking a little bit deeper into the cards, the Ace of Pentacles also kind of feeds into the Knight of Cups. It's that like romantic energy, and you're looking forward to that, that love. Like you're gushy right now. You're like really feeling it. But in between the Knight of Cups and the Hermit card is the Judgment card. And I think that you're in a space where there's some issues with you in romance. Something that you've been holding on to that is kind of like blocking you a little bit. The Five of Swords is a little bit of a defensive energy, and it's like you're defensive about something related to the reason why you kind of withdrew from love in the first place. Usually when we do Virgo readings, and we are in Virgo season as I'm doing this reading, the Virgo card and the Star card usually come out together, because it said that the Star is the light that is in the Virgo's lantern. And it's about learning from your past and learning from the mistakes of the past to inform your current future and to make judgment calls about the decisions that you're making based on like past hurts. You might be kind of like stagnating yourself when it comes to relationships because of a past hurt. And that's why the Five of Swords is coming up in this reading. I like to look at reversals just to see what is the energy surrounding this reversal. So the Five of Swords reverse really talks about something that is like a reoccurring issue, and you are defensive about something, and it's like a reoccurring thing. And because the Ace of Cups is showing up also in this portion of the clarification, it really shows this has a lot to do with like you're starting a relationship or you're furthering a relationship. This is where your defensiveness is. Even though the Four of Cups is not out on the board, it's not on the table, the energy of the Four of Cups is really present in this reading. And the Four of Cups talks about basically crying over like spilled milk. Like you can have three cups in front of you, three empty cups in front of you, but you are really focused on like, you can have three full cups in front of you, but you're really focused on the empty cup. You're like crying over spilled milk. So this is something that has happened in your past that you are still carrying with you to this day. And that is showing itself in your relationship. So you might have gone through something in a past relationship that is preventing you from moving forward or preventing you from making the decision, an informed decision about your current relationship, because you're still holding on to that past hurt. And again, the Ace of Cups, the Five of Cups, and then you have the Nine of Cups and the Five of Cups. There's also an element, like I said, the Four of Cups is here, present here in this reading, but also the Eight of Cups, again, is not on the board, but it is present. And that really is about walking away, letting that stuff go in the past, because with the Emperor reverse here, it's looking like it's making you be defensive, but also a little bit rigid and inflexible in your relationships, because you're carrying like, old wounds from relationships in the past. And that is something that you are working on actively and you're trying to work on actively, but it is playing a role in your decisions about your current relationships and moving forward with your current relationships, or what relationships that you should get into at this time. The Ace of Cups is playing a prominent role. Like, it came up twice, right? So I wanted to take a look at what the Ace of Cups is saying. The Ace of Cups is being clarified here by the Queen of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords reversed. So this looks like some old heartbreak, right? Like recovering from old pains, old wounds associated with, starting a relationship in the past. And so the Queen of Swords here could be representative of the person that gave you the heartbreak in the past. And this is a court card, so this person could have been a Libra, Aquarius, or a Gemini individual. But it looks like you wanted to work on something with them in the past, but there was some sort of heartbreak attached to this relationship, right? But moving forward, this looks like a present energy. So this might be a person that you are currently dating, that you are interested in dating. And this old heartbreak is literally a issue that you're looking at right now in terms of dealing with this Queen of Swords person. And this Queen of Swords, again, could be a person that's a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius, or those signs could be in their natal chart at some point, right? So they don't necessarily have to be their sun sign, but it could be a placement in their natal chart. And to clarify the Three of Swords, we have the King of Swords, which, Libra, is your core card, right? So this is talking about an old hurt, an old pain that you are currently nursing, especially when it comes to like relationships. You are very hesitant about starting relationships because you're not really sure, or you just don't even want to deal with going through heartbreaks. Or relationships are, they're crazy things, right? Like anything can happen. And so I think that fear of that is what is kind of like making you a little bit hesitant about either starting something new or moving forward in the relationship that you're in. But when we look at these cards here, we see that this is a perfect pair. We have the Queen of Swords and we have the King of Swords on the board. And what this says is, again, this is like a perfect pair. There is the desire and the want of like growth, emotional attachment, fulfillment, emotional fulfillment in a relationship context. This is something that you want to grow here with the Seven of Pentacles sitting in between the two of you. But what's also sitting in between the two of you is this Three of Swords and this heartbreak that the King of Swords, or the masculine energy, is still nursing. And so that is sitting in the middle of your Ace of Cups and of your new start when it comes to like a relationship or advancing your relationship. This idea that between the two of you, even though there's a desire for growth on both parts, the Queen is looking more towards the growing, and the King is also, but there is a little bit of a hesitancy because of, being hurt in the past and not necessarily being sure about how this will eventually turn out in the future. So being very like, kind of like withholding, like a little bit of a withholding energy because of that. Taking a look, at the Eight of Pentacles, I wanted to see what it was that Libra is going to be working on in September. And you do have a little bit of instability in terms of like, your foundation. So you might be looking to move. You might be looking to, get a new place. You might be thinking about school. You might be thinking about having children, and really having that foundation and having that, that coming together, within your relationship, and just trying to get like all the pieces in place. So that is something that you're working on, but there is a little bit of indecisiveness, which kind of sort of tends to be a thing with Libras. Like, we can't, you can't be a little bit indecisive when it comes to making major life decisions, but these major life decisions are the things that are like most on the forefront of your mind during September. And you're trying to harness this energy of like of strength, of being able to explain to the people that you love and care about like where you're at in your life, explaining to them, what might have happened to you in the past, so that they understand and that they know. But you kind of like are juggling the practical everyday things in your life, such as your housing, your work, and your relationships, and balancing all those things out, and being a little indecisive about what's important right now. And it's all really going to come together at the end. But you have to know that a lot of the decisions that you're making, you need to look at the current nature of them and not hold on to the past situations, or the past hurts, or the past wrongs that somebody has done to you against the current people in your life, because they aren't the same people. You just take the wisdom that you get from your past situations and use that to inform you, but don't necessarily apply, be rigid with the people that love and care about you, and show that to you. Also, too, like I said, there's this song in my head, like, no romance without finance. There is an element that you are hesitant about moving forward with certain things because you feel like you aren't where you want to be financially speaking. And that is something that you feel like, okay, like I have to get all my ducks in a row. Like I have to, make sure that I have a good job, and that I get my education, and then I do this and that I do that in order to move into like a relationship. And you don't have to do that. You need to understand that if you're with someone, they're trying to build with you, and you might not have everything right now, but I think that there's an element of them believing in you, and that they know that, like this is going to be okay. Like you kind of like build it as you go. But if you're worried about making sure that you have everything lined up perfectly and all your ducks in a row that you're actively working towards, then that isn't really something that you need to be so hard on yourself about. You are working towards, getting yourself in a better situation financially, and purchasing a home, and getting married, and you feel like everything has to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be perfect, right? You kind of are building it as you go. And this particular person wants to start a future with you, just like you want to start a future with them. If you look at the Queen of Swords card, she also is holding an Ace of Pentacles in that card hidden as well. So you both want the same things, right? You both want the same things, and you're both trying to work towards the same things. But I think that you need to understand that they want that from you just as much as you want it from them, and not to allow things that have happened in your past to kind of block you. So if you have a doubt in your mind about it, the Star card is actually showing up to show you, that you should move forward with this, and this is something that will work out, for your greatest good. So we pulled up an advice card for Libras, and it is the Wise One. Grow within your current situation, right? The message of this card is to knuckle down, be reliable and committed, and be open to wisdom and insight from your elders. The Wise One represents the wisest aspect of the goddess, the crone. In paganism and modern Wicca, the crone is the fiercest, most psychic, and most aware aspect of the goddess, because she has been through many of life's challenges and overcome many setbacks. On this card, the raven in her hands represents the capacity to overcome the darker times and to be reborn again and again. So she helps you to tap into wisdom to overcome whatever life throws at you. Wisdom being the information stored in your soul rather than the knowledge acquired in this lifetime, and to learn from the experience of your elders. The wisdom of the wise ones is based on something that the younger generation is often lacking: commitment and reliability. When this card appears, you are being guided to continue working on your growth and expansion within your current situation. Be committed to your tasks and your projects. It can be very easy to get bored or overwhelmed, but persevere. You are being reminded of how it feels to be let down and experience unreliability, and that is not who you were born to be. So keep working on what you're working on, because it's going to be extremely beneficial for you in the long run. So again, there is this idea of like not allowing, things that have happened to you in the past throw you off, and be a setback to you with what you're working on right now. And you're going to grow within the current situation that you're in. So if you are mated with another person who is an air sign or who has air elements in their chart, then and you're already in a relationship with this person, then consider staying in that situation and growing with that current situation, because you can't allow things that have happened in your past to make you miss out on something that is, good for you, right? And if you are single and you are working on the things that you need to work on in order to create stability in your life, then continue to do that. And when you meet a person, if that is what you're looking for, to meeting someone to grow and build with, don't allow don't allow being defensive about things that have happened to you in your past block a blessing in a relationship with someone because you're hurt from something that happened in the past, because not everyone is the same, right? And we learn from our mistakes in the past, and we grow and we become better. And again, like I said, the Star card and the Hermit card being here shows that you are really growing in the wisdom that you've gained through your experiences. And so you should allow that wisdom to guide you. Okay, Libra? If you have gotten this far in the video, I want to thank you so much for listening. I hope that the information in this reading will help you in some sort of way. Please, I would love to hear how this relates to your life and what you are going through in this current month of September. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon.